The following game has no ESRB rating, nor is there any sort of listing for restrictive content found within the game's description on Steam. From what I've played so far, while it is a aircraft combat game, there isn't really any blood or gore, even though there is violence and the fact that you're basically shooting down various aircraft and ground installations. So, were I to guess, if it were to have been given an ESRB rating, I would assume that it would be rated T for teen. However, that is just my opinion and uneducated assumption. So that being said, I would assume anyone under the age of 13 should not be watching this video. You have been warned.
Greetings and salutations. I am Outlier and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is, of course, my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we're returning back to Project Wingman. So the premise of Project Wingman is that you take on the role of a mercenary air combat pilot, protecting I guess you could argue, a New World country from predation from its neighbors. And I say New World because while you do use, I believe, representative military aircraft of both the United States, Russia, and a few key other military aircraft manufacturers and users. And while you do also fight upon the Earth's surface, you don't actually fight for any existing country. Well, that's kind of long-winded and not completely shared with in the story, but basically, several centuries before the game starts, there was some sort of cataclysm. I think an asteroid hit the planet Earth, that or some sort of tectonic and volcanic activity. But basically something very, very bad happened that wiped clean all of the old world. And several centuries had passed, and the new world has been, well, built. And one of the new nations of the New World is a place known as Cascadia, which is essentially the western coastline of North America, encompassing the lower chunks of Alaska, western Canada, as well as the western continental United States. And the thing that makes Cascadia special is that it's plentiful and abundant natural resources, which they mine and exploit prolifically, and are willing to share with their peaceful neighbors. And their main neighbor, pan-global organization known as the Federation, or at the very least, collection of nations that span the Pacific Ocean, known as the Federation. I'm sure there's a longer name, but I just can't recall it right off the top of my head. Agreed with Cascadia to use Cascadian resources for their own ends. However, while Cascadia thought they'd be using them for peaceful means, the Federation built an entire war machine using them. And Cascadia, once they found out, decided, no, we're not going to let you use our stuff anymore. So the Federation, rather than saying, okay, fine, we'll find another vendor, decided to invade Cascadia and basically take what they are no longer allowed to be given. Which is where you come in. You fly air defense for the Cascadian National Guard, or at least what passes for the Cascadian military now. It's basically a rebel movement, given the fact that the official Cascadian government has collapsed. And if you haven't seen the past episode, or any of the past episodes, after we managed to evacuate as many people as we could from key strategic locations, we've been on essentially a war of attrition against the Federation. I guess war of attrition's not exactly accurate. We're basically waging a kind of economic warfare, I should say, against the Federation. And by that I mean we're basically blowing up the infrastructure that Cascadia built to utilize the energy, geothermal, and other resources that the Federation wants, with the expressed belief that if the infrastructure isn't there for the Federation to use, the Federation wouldn't want it, and they'll just simply up and leave. And to help persuade them that it's better to leave than stick around, last mission we went to war against air shipping, and took out a bunch of cargo planes, as well as a couple other aircraft, to basically prevent their military from being reinforced and resupplied. And the mission prior to that, through what I like to call legal salvage, the Cascadian Navy managed to steal a Federation battleship. I have no idea why a Federation battleship was out by its own. But for storyline purposes, it got stolen, and so it was stolen. And now that the sea routes are covered with said battleship, and the air routes are basically off limits because of our actions, and I would assume continued actions between the last mission and now, and given that the Federation is largely an island nation, there's no land route to Cascadia, their military should have issues with resupply. Given the fact that we basically blew up every power plant that we can find, things I don't think are looking well for the Federation. But the Federation doesn't strike me as the type of people who just simply say, oh, well, we can no longer take the easy route, let's just pack up and leave. To me, they seem more like the type of people that would look at all of their hardships and say, well, if we can't get what we want easily, we'll just burn everything to the ground. But if that's the case, I haven't actually gotten to that point in the game yet, and well, we'll see what happens. And as such, this game is of course made by thank you again. And that being said, let us begin.
Monarch, this is an op just for you. You know I don't like admitting this, but mercenary pilots in this world are among some of the best. They get more airtime, more time on target, than any of us national pilots outside of the periphery. In truth, you get the glamour we all thought fighter pilots were supposed to have when signing up to the academy. That and you're making 5 times what I make in a year.
So you want to join? I'm assuming
that's why you went private, but I don't think you're the type to give that answer. Not to me, anyway. What I'm trying to say is, you're capable. More capable than most, getting this far in. And because of that, we need you on deck for a one-man mission.
Cascadia's southeastern deserts hosts the Solana Communication Array. It was a Federation and Cascadian telecom venture meant to expand Cascadia's networking capability, regardless of any thermal interference that traditionally plagues long-range communications. With that facility, communications between various Federation units are streamlined, while limiting jamming and interrupting our own. Nothing to say of the censorship abilities that are used to enforce the civilian information flow. This is one of the Independence Force's top targets. However, it's been outside our strike range until now. Due to its distance from our front lines, no fuel can be wasted dodging or circumventing Federation anti-air systems en route. In short, we're sending you alone to clear up the most disruptive defense systems before we engage in a full-scale operation to knock out the facility. You will insert into the Keohord defense region in the Raver Mountains and take out all critical defense systems under cover of night. The defense system is calibrated for mass aerial strikes, but a lone aircraft flying relatively level with the mountains should be able to slip through and take them out. Dismissed.
So in regards to the other guy, it sounds like he wants to join. I mean, I guess Sicario, our mercenary outfit, does hire new members. I mean, they did say a couple missions ago that Hitman team, my personal air squadron, used to have 6 members, and now there's only 3. So I'm guessing there's still spots open. Alright, so it looks like that this seems to be a mix of air and ground targets. So I'm going to need a plane that can actually fight both simultaneously. Which means that if I look at all of my available aircraft, and due to technical issues, I can actually now purchase either the Incipiter or the F-15C. But as I was saying, if I look at all of my aircraft, I need something that can carry both anti-ground and anti-air missiles. And the F-15C technically can do that with its ability to have multi-lock anti-air in slots 1 and 2, and multi-lock anti-ground missiles in slot 3. I can't really afford the SK-27, although while it does have unguided bombs, it's technically not really suitable for this mission. Or the F-15E, even though it would technically be suitable with its MLAA in slot 1 and MLAG in slot 2. The Anticipator and Accipiter, not certain how you pronounce that, kind of looks like the Harrier, truth be told. I'm not certain if many of these aircraft actually still use their real-world actual names due to either copyright or military, what's the word I'm looking for, classification, not classification, whether or not it's actually classified by the military. But it appears to mostly just simply have machine gun pods and unguided bombs. And I don't really like unguided munitions. Now the MiG-29 has both anti-air missiles as well as 2 different varieties of anti-ground missiles. The F-14, if I can, come on, you know you want to. Just simply has multi-lock anti-air missiles as well as a couple unguided bombs, as well as the ability to get high impact or high velocity standard missiles. MiG-31 is completely anti-air. The SK-25U is, by contrast, completely anti-ground, although I guess the machine gun pods would technically be suitable against aircraft, but if I'm being woefully honest, if you have to use machine guns, you're already too close. Especially in an air war where things happen at a distance. The CR-105 is mostly an anti-air aircraft, and I also don't like it because of its cockpit configuration. The F-16C could technically work on account of the fact it has both multi-lock anti-ground for slot 1 and MLAA for both slots 1 and 2. The F-14E doesn't have any smart anti-ground missiles, so I mean I could use it, but I don't want. But it wouldn't be my first option. The SV-37, however, would be an option because it has both multi-locking anti-air and anti-ground missiles. The MiG-21 doesn't. In fact, it doesn't have any multi-locking missiles at all. The only options I have are a machine gun pod, semi-locking missiles, which I like almost as bad as unguided bombs, which is the other option. And then the T-4F has unguided bombs only, and then the T-21 has not even that, as its only special weapon is basically a fuel tank. It just drops upon the heads of people. So I could technically afford a new aircraft. You know what? I'm actually tempted just to see how the F-15C handles. Curious as to exactly how many multi-locking anti-ground missiles I would have access to. So let's purchase this aircraft. Does it tell me how many missiles it can field in one go before I select it? I mean, I know I have ammo for 48 rounds. And the only option is, once again, flares. Alright, well, let's see how we do.
Defenses are pretty hidden away on the mountain range, but your pal Galaxy got them all marked out. After this mission, don't tell me I never do anything for you.
Okay, I'll just judge you silently then. Alright, so it looks like I actually have an ability to...
TV. There's nothing good on this late. What? You want to listen to the frickin' snow instead?
So it looks like I have the ability to fire 3 multi-lock anti-ground missiles at once, which is interesting. Looks like again I'll also do up to 6 MLAA missiles, and it's a thunderstorm.
Listen from HQ, another section from Crimson Team themselves. Something about taking the mercenaries the rebels hired seriously. Yeah? Why should I? So
About to...
don't underestimate them.
And because I'm about to kill you all. So they swing around the mountain and open fire.
Missile is on the way. Right on target.
Alright, so that's cleared. I do have some aircraft to worry about, even if they aren't primary targets, and I almost flew into whatever that thing is. The missiles away. Yes, you do. And they all miss. Those hit a mountain.
Fox 2, good separation.
See if this works. It does. Trying to get a better angle on this aircraft before I blow him away. I can't remember if it listed it before, well, at the beginning of the mission, but it did provide a helpful tip last time I tried this mission, because I'm replaying this due to technical difficulties, about how the ground SAM sites have a longer range than normal, so I have to be aware of that.
Defense cluster Alpha is down. From my scans, I read at least 6 other clusters in the area, designating them Bravo through Golf as we get them. You know, Monarch, I've heard a lot about why you 3 joined. Hitman, that is. Comic had her wings clipped, Dip was told he wasn't good enough to fly out of the academy, and you came in with him. My question, though, is what are you all looking for after all this time? You've made your fortunes and lost so many times these last few years. So what else is there, huh?
Some things are worth more than just money.
It ain't like you're gonna tell me tonight.
True, I am trying to not fly into a mountain.
Stay calm and recall all patrol squadrons within our grid. What's the damage?
About to be everything.
Targeting our defenses and tertiary systems. How many? We're not sure. We think it's at least a flight. You hear that? The echoes. That's only one fighter.
Alright, that's a hit. I think I took out the SAM sites.
We got a message from 2 and 3. Putting it through. You lost without us yet, Monarch?
That's the ground.
We're just a static radio call away. And hanging on with the mix sucks.
I'll fucked if he ends up as Hitman 1 straight up. Don't take too long out there.
Do you guys actually like each other?
It's a sibling thing.
Ground asset destroyed. Missile away, missile away. It's a single fighter. Too dark to visually ID. It's a mercenary. Stacked up, huh? How can you tell? The mercs have been using fuel from out of country. Cheaper for them, and it burns an engine differently. I can hear it. Why'd the rebels send a single fighter? Maybe just for the hell of it? Don't they get paid by target?
Because we're so badass, we know we can take it with just one of us.
Some peacekeepers spoke about a pilot like this. It might be him up there. Hitman 1, good zone.
Alright, we'll see if these things fly into a mountain. The answer is no.
Make sure to track your assigned targets. Missile away! Right on target.
Alright, that's an AA,
Enemy approaching the AO.
and now I have ground to worry about, as well as...
Search and destroy. Ground target destroyed.
Alright, they're all gone. All I gotta do is worry about the aircraft, and...
Target on the nose. Light him up. Nice shot.
he's gone.
Good zone, good zone.
That hit didn't kill him, though.
Hitman 1, missile tracking, evade. Good zone, good zone. Moving to engage.
He's too close for the missiles. But then again, that's what the cannon is for. Angle's bad on this one, but it still worked. As Because I used flares at the last minute to avoid an incoming missile. Alright, so I'm apparently right above a SAM site. I think there's a mountain in the way.
Ground unit destroyed.
Although it still works, so... Does it get tagged yet again by anti-aircraft artillery?
I'm moving to engage.
The ground. Also the ground. More ground. Still an aircraft up that I gotta worry about. That takes care of him. Now as for that aircraft.
Hitman 1 within gun range. Monarch missile shot.
And you're gone. Alright, next pile. I think there's a mountain between me and them, so... Missiles away.
Right on target.
They go away. It's the third missile. And this one, I do find it strange that it only has 3 missiles per clip. I think it'd be even to balance the load on the aircraft. But I didn't design the aircraft, so what do I know? I mean, for all I know, it's 1 missile per wing and then 1 on the center fuselage. I got some more aircraft, though I think these guys are actually helicopters. Just simply because they're flying slowly and they don't evade as much as the other aircraft that I've been fighting. Like, for instance, they didn't even try to turn. Okay, so there wasn't the mountain in the way. I was worried that there was a mountain in the way and that I wouldn't be able to hit them. As for these aircraft,
Hitman 1 Fox 3. Monarch got another one.
took out a bunch of them before they could launch. Not all of them. To swing back around. Fire off another volley. Looks like one of them took off, though.
Enemies locking on. Break.
Looks like I took out 2 more. As I get winged by more anti-aircraft fire.
Stacked up.
Right, that missed. Let me just take care of these anti-air things. Well, I got some of them. Not all of them, though. Did they build this airstrip through a mountain? It feels like it. I don't even want to know where that area gun was. And you're dead.
Monarch, pop countermeasures and evade.
Working on it.
Missile shot off. Ground asset knocked out. Enemy's getting radar lock.
Okay, why is it only, I was gonna say, why is it only locking on one of them?
Radar lock, take him down.
Fortunately, it's locking on something that's on the other side of a mountain. We're gonna have to use standard missiles for these guys.
Hard lock, let it fly. The enemy's getting radar lock.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to be a standard for this type of op. By op, I mean mission.
Hitman 1 within gun range. Ground asset
I'd like to
destroyed.
target next to where I'm fighting. Thank you. I'm dangerously close to flying into yet another mountain.
Ground asset knocked out.
Alright, that's a missile hit. Two of them, I think,
Radar
actually.
lock, take him down.
Doesn't help I'm right over where I need to hit. Just fly over the mountain. I was doing so well too.
Missile away.
Just increase speed a little. Fly back around.
Missile tracking, evade.
Open fire. Take care of those guys. And I have no idea what these containers are, but I think they're actually inside the mountain, so I'm going to ignore them for now. As two of those three targets go away.
Radar lock, take him down.
Alright, I see an aircraft. Multiple aircraft. Apparently I've been ignoring aircraft. And unlike all the other aircraft that I've been fighting, this one's actually a priority target. I don't know what makes this one so special, or the fact that it can take multiple multi-lock anti-air missiles. And there's like three of them right there.
Got another one. Got enough of an angle.
Do you now?
Good tone, good tone. Hitman 1 locked on.
Oh, that missed.
Monarch opening fire.
That did not.
Monarch Fox 2.
I'm not paying attention. That missile almost hit me. Get back here.
Monarch, pop countermeasures in evade.
Working on it.
Hitman 1, good tone.
Angle's better on this one. I think I already hit him with the missile, so I probably didn't need to, but oh well.
Target on the nose. Monarch opening fire.
There he goes. And you go away. Alright, back to doing what I was doing.
Monarch, you've got a good lock.
It's a container. More containers. Right, I think there's a mountain in the way. I'm not going to be able to actually hit anything.
Ground unit destroyed.
And there they all go. Should point out, I only have 4 multi-lock anti-ground missiles left.
Monarch ready to fire. Cleared for guns.
Mountain. And my multi-lock ground missiles weren't loaded yet. Because I'm so close, I might as well just use. As I fire off 2 of them. And I can't see because of the cloud. Too high over the target in question, and that missile almost hit. Probably should have, but it didn't. So last of my multi-lock anti-ground missiles. That one goes away, and does that one.
Evacuate the area and raise regional HQ. Tell them the mercs have one hell of a pilot around. Monarch RTB. That's one for the books.
But it doesn't matter because I took out the last of the targets.
I almost feel bad, Monarch, for making you come with us tomorrow to hit that communication facility. Especially after what you pulled off tonight, single-handedly. Though that was one hell of a thing you did. And I got a feeling Operation Blackout will meet you on point. We have a straight shot to Cascadia's southeast. And, with any luck, we'll have fuel to spare for the fight. Sicario is mobilizing en masse tomorrow morning. Get some sleep. This war isn't gonna win itself.
So I just basically killed off a whole bunch of stuff, as you can clearly see based off of the ground and air unit listings. And as the mission is named, this mission is just simply a stepping stone for the next one. I basically just took out a whole bunch of air defense, so that way it can't threaten the what sounds like the entire Sicario group trying to take out the comm tower that lies just past this massive AA net that I just took out. And once the comm tower is down, or the comm facility is knocked offline, Cascadia can tell the world about what the Federation is doing in their territory, and I guess try to get the worldview against the Federation. Of course, my question would be, if we do all this and they say all this, would the world even care? Because sometimes the world is like that. But that's going to be another issue for another time, because I'm going to call it here.
Everybody stay safe from the plague, and have a good day.